To that top story now. A Dros rape accused, Nicholas Ninow, is going to Weskoppies Psychiatric Hospital. He appeared briefly in the Pretoria Magistrates Court this morning during his last appearance in November last year. The 20-year-old was referred for mental observation, but there was no bed available at the time. Joining us live from the court is ENCA's Erin Bates. Erin, what can you tell us?
So critical now is that Nicholas Ninow will face scrutiny from a medical team at Weskoppies Psychiatric Hospital in Pretoria. He will be assessed by a team of 4 medical professionals. They include 3 psychiatrists and a psychologist. And over 30 days, they will put together a report on his state of mind. They will also review court documents in order to assess what his state of mind may have been at the time of the alleged incident. They may well look at some of the information that has already been before court. We do know as well that a leaked video from that evening showing Ninow stark naked and shouting at other patrons who were interrogating him about his behavior that night may also form part of the material this medical team will use during their assessment.
Now, there have been various stakeholders that have been giving commentary on the story since it broke last year. What have we heard from them in reaction to this latest development?
Quite right, and in fact, in several of the appearances since Ninow was remanded on the 22nd of September 2018 at the Dros in Silverton, we've seen a volley of solidarity from various entities, groupings and members of the public for the child rape survivor, who's he's alleged to have followed into a bathroom and then raped, including the ANC Women's League, which has been absolutely thorough in its attendance of these proceedings. And I'm joined now by Nozipo Chobeka Makeke. You're an ANC Women's League NEC member, ma'am. Thank you for your time this morning. You've been so consistent in attending these proceedings. Why?
Thank you for this opportunity. Yes, as the ANC Women's League, we support the victims of gender-based violence, and you are saying no to that. We have been consistently as an organization that our children, our women should not be abused sexually. So with this case, like any other case, we do support, and you will be here until this case is finalized, until justice has been made.
And in this case, we now have the accused going to a hospital to be assessed. They're going to look at his mental well-being, his history of mental health issues and substance addiction. What are your concerns about the assessment he's now going to undergo?
As the ANC Women's League, we support the process fully. And you are saying that after the observations, it must come back to court and we must be satisfied. We must also take care of the victim, because we also want to see the speed up of this process. It must not take long, because now it has been postponed. And another concern, it's the change of the magistrate. Since this court has started, we are having, I think, the 3rd magistrate. We don't know next time, because now each and every magistrate must study the case, must come up with some new, outcomes. But we are saying that you are consistent and we are patient. We want to see justice being prevailed in this case.
Thank you. We're going to leave it there and move on to Lesego Makubela, who's with the ANC Youth League. You too have raised concerns about the change in magistrates, and you say that this contrasts with another case you as the Youth League have been following. Tell us more.
Yeah, there are 2 things that characterizes this case. It's postponement and change of magistrates. And this in turn ensures that the case is delayed indefinitely. I mean, it's now almost 2 to 3 months that every time we appear, it's psychiatric evaluation, which must take 30 days. Now we must wait again for another 30 days for this to. It could have happened 2 months ago. So we are contrasting this. We are mirroring it with the case that happened in Oliven. We are attending to that case. A minor was raped by a black perpetrator. That case now, they are busy arguing the merits. And this case happened in November. The Ninow case happened in September. This case where the perpetrator is black, the wheels of justice are turning very quickly. But here, the wheels of justice are being stalled. But they are being stalled by the change of magistrates. They are being stalled by the change of by the postponements. And this has a psychotic, traumatic effect to the family. You can imagine the mother arrives here. Every time she looks up, and sees a new magistrate. And that magistrate, what they utter from their lips is that the case is being postponed to the next month, This thing is affecting the family. It actually is affecting them psychologically because they must come and attend this court case. This is the family of the victim and the victim herself. But then we will not rest. If it means that we need to organize the Youth League, the ANC, the Women's League, and the people of Tshwane to go and march at the NPA offices and also to march at the office of the Chief Justice so that cases are not dealt because of the color of the skin of the victim or the perpetrator. We need transformation of the judiciary. The judiciary can't treat cases differently if ever the perpetrator has a different skin makeup. It can be.
Just my final question to you then, Mr. Makubela, on that issue. If you could just ventilate a little bit more and articulate your concern over the demographics, so the race of these two rape accused and how they've been treated and your concerns on that front.
It's a serious concern. There was a judge who wrote on her Facebook, wrote public on her Facebook that, and maybe that's what explains the stalling when the perpetrator is white and when the perpetrator is black. That judge went out publicly and said that black people are rapists and so forth. The only condemnation was for her, but not even a single person said, let's go back and look at the cases that this judge presided over, because she might have been biased in her judgments. She might have sentenced people to go to prison because of the color of their skin. Not anyone, no organization came out and said, let's go and review some of the cases that she actually presided over. So we are using that, and this is a recent case. I mean, that lady wrote that pathetic racist rant of a statement on her Facebook just 2 years ago. Now we are dealing with an avalanche of rape cases, and they get delayed when the perpetrator is white. They get quick and they are resolved easily when the perpetrator is black. It can't continue to happen. It can't be. Nicholas Ninow by now, we should have been arguing the merits of the case. Now they are saying psychiatric evaluation and addiction to drugs. Those are two different things. You are saying this person is addicted to drugs, but you are evaluating that person his mental state. Obviously, if he was found high, obviously, when he's found high, you need to be able to ensure you protect that particular evidence and don't link the two, because obviously we know the effects of drugs. His family knew that this person is addicted to drugs and what drugs can do to the person, and that they needed to ensure that they protect him and they are around him during public space. But the people who are taking the brunt of this is the family of the victim. The victim's family and the victim himself, and the victim herself, they are suffering untold pain.
We're going to leave it there with you. Just as a follow-up on that, though, are you still confident then in the process, having heard this criticism, allegations of racial bias in the judicial system? Are you still confident justice will be served?
Yes, we are confident, and with those highlights, I think we cannot say we are not confident. It's our justice system, and we should indicate if we are not happy, and the justice system will correct those issues. But you want to see justice being prevailed, because now we cannot, hold on or leave the victims, because the victims will become despondent. That's our, a problem. So we just want to see all these gender-based violence cases to be taken very seriously, and justice must prevail.
Thank you both for your time and your support. Marcel, important to note here that the survivor of this child rape and her family are not present. They have not been at court, but their legal team has been and is monitoring events. I also understand that there has been significant progress in the investigation into this matter, gathering of evidence, interviewing of witnesses and the like, but there's no clarity yet from the NPA on whether or not a forensic report, a narcotics report, in fact, if I can correct myself there, on a powder found on the accused the night of the incident of the child rape and the results of that test. So that is pending evidence in this matter.
We'll leave it there. That's Erin Bates reporting to us live from Pretoria, bringing us the very latest and all those details in this latest development in the story that really has captured the imagination of the country.